everybody. Welcome to OpenClaw Manila, and thank you for being here.
Woo! What's this? Claps.
Okay.
Awesome. Quick introduction.
All right. So, hi everybody. I am David Marquez. I am a entrepreneur in residence at Symph, and previously you might have known me as the CTO of Shipmates, and I am an avid fan of The Lobster.
Nice. Woo. Hi everyone, I'm Mika Reyes. I was previously at LinkedIn. If you see those purple I'm hiring rings on people's profiles, that's my product. And then started Parallax, which is a payments company, exited that last year, and now starting a company with my husband, who's one of the speakers later. We're both very excited about AI, very excited about OpenClaw, all the different business use cases that are available for it, and so excited to share more with our amazing panel of speakers.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna say, all of this was not, 2 weeks ago. This wasn't even a proper idea, Yeah, this was 1 week and a half ago. And we planned all of this. So thank you to everybody who organized. Thank you for showing up. We had a lot of people. Oh, it's dying. We had a lot of people sign up, and you guys are the lucky ones to have made it. But we're gonna be having maybe more events after this. But tonight we're going to be sharing about what we're going to be doing for OpenClaw Manila, basically.
Yeah. So a lot of people here are probably acquainted with AI or some form of OpenClaw in some way. And if you're on tech Twitter, it almost feels like you're behind with everything that everyone is building. But how do I change the slide?
No. Click it, press down.
All right. This is a visual. I don't know if people have seen it, but this is a visual of how many people there are in the world. And actually, 85% of people in the world have still not touched AI. So we're very early. We're in the cusp of this new technology. We are all here to be learning from each other and with each other. And so we want to take this opportunity to start this community of people in AI in the Philippines, people who are interested in OpenClaw, and learn from one another. First, what is OpenClaw? What is the problem that OpenClaw solves? So today, I think it's the exact 3-month anniversary of OpenClaw. OpenClaw was started by Peter Steinberger, who was just a developer who came out of retirement and wanted to use AI in some form of way and experiment with it. And so he showcased a couple problems with the state of AI at that time, right? If we use ChatGPT or Claude in a browser, there are a couple limitations. Number one, it's stateless. So every connection that you have with it starts from 0. There's not great memory that is long-term and preserving of your context. It's passive. So you have to go to it, you have to prompt it, you have to ask it questions. It doesn't necessarily come to you. It's isolated. It can't run commands on your machine. It can't browse the web for you. It can't control the apps that you have, and it's single channel. Your real life happens on WhatsApp, on Telegram, on Slack for business, on all these other channels, but AI lives in its own separate tab. What if instead you had an AI that lived in the messaging apps that you already use, all of them? They all have a shared memory. They remember your preferences, your projects, who you are, your past conversations across all sessions. It could run commands on your computer, browse the web, and control a real browser. Woke up on a schedule so it could handle recurring tasks without being asked, and run on your own hardware, be in your own control. That's what OpenClaw does. And today we want to show and share the different applications that some businesses and some people have actually used OpenClaw for.
Okay, so a lot of you here, show of hands now, who has tried an OpenClaw? Who has an OpenClaw right now? Wow, okay.
Nice.
That's a lot. Great. Because I guess not the turnout I was expecting. I was expecting way less people. Because I was just going to say, there's a lot of people here in this room who have messaged me oh, I have an OpenClaw, I don't know what to do with it. Right? And so they're like, oh, okay, it's another chatbot, it's ChatGPT or Claude on my Telegram or on my Discord. But then what I found after talking to a lot more people who have used these tools I realized there's like a pattern that came up, and like it's one thing to know that you have a personal assistant, but I think it's also one thing to know, like, especially for the busy people around here, when you start drowning in work and you realize that there's like an AI tool that could help you summarize a YouTube and watch a 45-minute video and condense it to you in like 2 minutes, 3 minutes, that becomes really useful. And this is something that, like, it is one thing to download it, but also it's a good way also to have people show you like what OpenClaw can do, right? So again, it's something that this is why we had this meetup, because we want to be able to say, okay, it's a 3-month-old project. There's no best practices for this. We want to know how other people are using it, and this is why we're only speaking here for like 10, 15 minutes max, because we want to hear from all of you. We want this to be a show and tell type of thing where we're gonna have a great set of speakers in a bit, talking about how they use it for business, how they use it for their personal lives, how they use it for many, many ways. And so we're gonna have that. We're gonna talk about it in a bit. But really, my point here is like you just need someone to show you what's possible, right? And another thing is, it's also one thing to use OpenClaw for a few days, a week, but the people I've seen use agents properly are the ones who have gotten to use it for a really long stretch of time. I think someone in Synth is using it for like 6-7 months. Not OpenClaw, but like agents and memory. And this is something that OpenClaw can do. Like if you actually have this, it'll remind you, okay, 7 a.m. This is what you should be doing. Here's I think someone's going to show the news or like what you can get from it. Or if you're preparing for a meeting, you want to be able to say, okay, 20 minutes before the meeting, I want to know what did I talk about last time with these people, so on and so forth. No. So that's for compounding. Like it's going to be really helpful for you if you guys set up your OpenClaws to learn what you guys are doing and you give it more context, right? So you want to add to that?
Yeah, and I want to kind of present a goal and what success looks like for this entire event for each person. Every person here, your goal is to have one new use case for OpenClaw that you've learned from someone else that you can incorporate in your business or your life. And one new person. Meet one new person here. There's a lot of people who are going to be ongoing members of a new community that we're going to be starting. We'll share the WhatsApp group and the Facebook groups that we want you guys to be a part of. Meet these new people, meet these new friends. We want to make this a really open and friendly environment for everybody to learn together. So don't be shy, meet the next person right beside you, and learn a new use case that you can apply to your life. Okay, what's next? All right, the agenda. What is happening today? So quick introduction, we're ending soon. We're gonna share a quick preview of the speakers. We have 7 amazing speakers, different use cases and different ways that they've used OpenClaw. The first round will have 4 people speaking and showing and demoing their OpenClaw instances. Then we'll have dinner and a group photo. So don't leave for dinner yet. We'll have a group photo, and then we'll have food. And then a second round of show and tell. We'll have 3 more speakers, and then an opportunity for the speakers to come in front, and everyone can do a quick Q&A with all of them. And then, time permitting, we have some breakout groups. So we'll split this room into 2, and we'll have 2 groups that we'll introduce later, and then networking and just food afterwards. So the show and tell round 1, we'll introduce them now, and then they'll reintroduce themselves later. We have Nicolas, Reyes, who's going to be talking about OpenClaw for business development, an actual case study. We have Josue Panganiban, OpenClaw for prototyping, Jeff J. Hunter, OpenClaw with memory and personality, and then Jhed, OpenClaw as a personal assistant. We'll do the next one.
And then for the round 2, we have Niño talking about OpenClaw for deep research. And then we have Raven, OpenClaw as an AI native agency. And then we have Vin Solis talking about OpenClaw as a voice-first copilot. So we're super excited. There's so many really good topics. I hope you can approach them also. If this is something that resonates with you, you can approach them. You can ask questions. You can share your insights as well with them. And then that's why we have our breakout rooms as well. So there will be some people here who want to be talking about business use cases. So Nick and Mika we'll split this room into two. We will have some breakouts here. It's gonna be an office hours or a very informal Q&A. Hopefully you guys also get to contribute, like what you've learned from your use of OpenClaw or with AI agents. And then same thing for the technical demos. We'll also have another group for people who want to share like how they've been building. Very informal, but we just wanted to make sure that you come out of here not just listening to the show and tell, but really also be able to talk to these people and to be able to continue and to be able to ask them later on, like, hey, I know this, you're the guy who did voice. Copilot's like, our company needs this right now. Can you help me?
How do you do
Right?
it?
So then you know who to contact, right?
Awesome. All right. You guys excited? Anyone excited? Okay. We're gonna call on the first speaker soon. But we actually have a special message from the founder of OpenClaw. Wow. Just 13 seconds. This is not AI generated.
Where's my mouse?
Hello Manila, this is the ClawFather. I just took today's update. It's way too late here, time for me to sleep. But you, have fun, keep building, and keep being awesome.
Oh, sorry. That was Peter Steinberger, the ClawFather, founder of OpenClaw. And with that, we'd like to call on Nicolas, Reyes to the floor for our first speaker. He's going to talk about OpenClaw for business development. And then Josue Panganiban, if you can stand by over here so we can set you up.
All right. Go Nick.
So today I'm going to talk about automated outreach, or how to give OpenClaw an identity and its own email. So this is a pretty simple use case, but I want to go over some context a bit. So this is actually an OpenClaw agentic workflow for a client, but better. They're a Manila-based nut butter store, so they sell cashew butter or different kinds of nut butter. So they wanted an OpenClaw bot that did outreach to find a manufacturer. So with a physical, company that sells physical products, you need to actually make the product. So they need U.S. manufacturers to sell jars in the U.S. So they just needed some outreach help. And the way that we had OpenClaw actually do this and affect the world was we need to give it an identity and an email. So we used agent mail. This is a very simple use case. Just reach out to folks and respond. So agent mail is an email inbox for agents. It's kind of like Gmail, but it's the way you interact is through an API instead of IMAP or SMTP. So you kind of skip all the email info and they keep it really, really clean. There's also like nicer rate limits, but effectively Gmail, but for agents. So the way it all comes together, I'll just go over this high level, is you have OpenClaw in the middle here. This is our little OpenClaw agent running in a Google Cloud VM. It talks to agent mail to send an email, and then it'll obviously wait for an email. We'll get one back. We'll receive an email from the manufacturer or if they or vendor. Agent mail calls a webhook that we own in ngrok, which is our reverse proxy, and this is actually the security part where it has a tunnel with a webhook in a Flask server that OpenClaw starts up. So there's an actual server that OpenClaw runs. And actually it coded it itself in Flask and Python. So that was pretty nice, actually. But this is the sort of the push and pull loop with emails. And then we just talk to it through Slack. So this is just the normal Slack messaging loop. A lot of folks have Telegram and WhatsApp. So, but Better wanted it in Slack. Cool, so that's the whole thing. Let's just go straight to the demo. So we'll have a live demo. And then basically the loop starts where they're in our channel, and then you say, send outreach to. So first you just say send outreach to an email. So I'll do my email. This starts the outreach pipeline. There's a skill in OpenClaw that does outreach, and it also has its own sort of loop that knows how to do it. So sent outreach email to Nick. So we'll just pretend I'm the manufacturer, and then we can go to my email, and this is the email. This is actually the agent. Their name is Monique Ragunas, and this is their email, moniqueragunas@agentmail.to. We have this very professional email template, hi Nick, and it kind of inferred the name because you have names associated with emails through the email protocol. So I'm reaching out from ButBetter. This goes to their website. Just want to plug the client a bit too. But anyway, yeah, and then here's our requirements. This is what we want from the partnership, and then ways to reach it. So then that's just the first part. The second part is, obviously I'm the manufacturer, so I want to continue the relationship. So I'll say, sounds great, let's chat. Cool, so then I say, sounds great, let's chat. So I'm the manufacturer and I actually want to partner with this business. I don't really know that I'm talking to an agent. That part isn't that important. I just know I'm sending an email. And then eventually in the channel, okay, it's already there, we get a response that says, oh, partnership inquiry, and then this message ID just for the agent to track itself. But this is the excerpt from it. And it's part of its pipeline is it already knows what to say and sort of draft and continue the lead. And it says, thanks for getting back to us. Could you also confirm lead times and MOQ flexibility for a 700 to 1,000 jar run? Because we're manufacturing jars or nut butter in jars. And we wanted a human in the loop, so it's not just randomly finishing all these outreach, because it is relationship based. And then we tag the co-founders here. Cool, and then I'll send. So I'll just say approve send. And then we'll wait. This part takes a bit because it'll go through its agent loop. It'll wake up, it'll go through its entire pipeline and see what part of the pipeline this thread's in. And then eventually we will get this email back. But this will take a bit. So we just wait here. Yeah, so let me show you what part of the pipeline we're at. So we kind of set this approve message, and then it'll actually try to send another email through this. Let's give it 1 second. I know this works. Question from the audience. Yes, we can ask more questions. I usually like to say, did you send it? And it actually sort of processes it sequentially, so it'll handle the first thing, then it'll handle the second thing, because it's actually one service, or it shares one session. But yeah. Yes. Yeah. Okay. No more questions since it's done. No, I'm just kidding. Sorry, what?
How do you buy this butter locally?
The question is, how do you buy this butter locally? Well, you go to butbetter.shop and you can order one. Or you can just buy some right now. We have some. But yeah. But yeah, let's look at the reply email. Show, and then here's the draft. No hallucinations here, it's just what finished. And then, yeah, that's the end-to-end flow. But from there, it's just finishing up the outreach. Founders can get in and actually close the deal and actually, jump in a call. The agent doesn't yet do that, but it can be hooked up to that. So, yeah. And then, final slide. Just wanted to plug. If you're interested in more of what we're building, Mika and I, you can just follow our journey. This is actually her Instagram, not mine. At It's Mika Reyes. We built at LinkedIn, Microsoft, Airbnb, Google. And if you're interested in how to set up OpenClaw, if you're not technical especially, you can go to this QR code. Everyone loves QR codes. Go ahead and click that one. But yeah, thanks for taking the time. Oh, we have a question over there.
Yeah, so first off, amazing. Second off, you said that that's a skill, the outbound, the lead generation skill. Is that like a open source on ClawFather type skill, or is that something you developed?
Yeah, question was, is the outreach pipeline, is that a skill that was open source that we downloaded? It's actually a skill I just built. I think we were building this agent out, the safest way to use OpenClaw was to actually just build your own skills. So we just typed in Slack, hey, I want this outreach pipeline. This is our flow. You have your email. How are you going to do this? And we told it what to say. So it's completely manually, well, not manually, built by OpenClaw, but prompted. So I would say that it's safer than just downloading a random skill. But anyway, yeah, thanks so much.
All right, give another round of applause for Nicolas, Reyes. And yeah, just to plug But Better, the founder, the co-founder of But Better is here, Monica Recto. If you want to get locally sourced, super delicious cashew butter, peanut butter, all different types of flavors, you can go to her. Awesome. Okay, our next speaker is Josue Panganiban. Already here.
Salamat.
Oh, yes. Sorry.
Oops, you good?
No worries, yeah. So, hello, I'm Jesse, and I built Ringo. So, this is my assistant, and Ringo builds prototypes for the company. So, about me, I'm Jesse. I'm an engineering leader at Erudify, where we finance tuition fees in Indonesia and the Philippines. And as a startup, we're always exploring new business models. So that means a lot of prototyping and like fast ideation and fast validation. So what does Ringo do? It builds prototypes from scratch in 30 minutes or less. So in this slide, it didn't just build the prototype, but it also announced it on Slack, linked to the live URL, linked to the repo because it pushed the code to its own GitHub repo and included a screenshot. So that's a full, complete delivery. Wait, why is it empty? Okay, so here's a video of its output. So there's an installments management platform for one of the schools that we're experimenting with. So this is something that you cannot one-shot, right? So it needs a few iterations. So I'll tell a bit about how it did that. Quick question, like who here are engineers or in tech? Show of hands. Oh, there's a lot. Okay, like all engineers, no? So this is what Ringo does, no? So we have engineers in our company, but right now, like not everyone's an engineer in our company. So what Ringo does is it builds prototypes for everyone. So now they no longer have to bother me or one of any of our engineers to build prototypes, right? So they can just talk to it on Slack and just, hey, can you build me this? And it built like an engineer's page, like a new prototype origination form, or maybe like a course finder quiz for lead generation for one of the schools that we're experimenting with. So so there's the workflow, no? So it does from idea to live prototype. So it's a bunch of technologies. One, it starts with a Ralph loop. Who here is familiar with Ralph loops? Okay. So Ralph loops is like, you can one-shot it with AI, but you're limited with the context budget, right? So if it's 200K, it's very, very tiny, and you're limited with the output tokens, right? But if you run a loop on it, then it's gonna be able to do more and with higher quality. So it's open code Ralph loops, and it uses PM2 to keep the process alive, and then serves it via Caddy. So here's what's under the hood. On the left side is my conversation with Ringo. Told it like, hey, can you look into this code base? So it has a copy of some of our old code bases. Can you look at it and can you use that so that things are on brand? And did this landing page, fun hero, blah, blah, blah. And then I'm going to serve it to quiz.ringo.erudify.com. And sounds good, build this. And then on the right side is the Ralph loop task markdown file. So it would start with creating the task file, and then as it as it runs, it would work on one task at a time. So every time it works on a task, it would run it, build it, and then stop the whole process so that on the next task, it would have a fresh context window. So, yeah. So the workspace, so it has access to GitHub, CloudFlare. So it's just, you can use any DNS provider. CloudFlare goes down a lot these days, no? So you can use something as Notion and G Drive. So for the notes and and for documentation, for product documentation. So the setup, so I think most of the folks I've seen are running it on a Mac Mini. So we decided to run it on Microsoft Azure. So why Microsoft? Well, it's, Amazon, right? So we blew off our Amazon credits a few months ago, but we're still paying. We're still on Amazon, but Microsoft was generous to give us like a few more credits. So we're using Microsoft right now for inference. But thank you also for Amazon for giving us 100K last month. I didn't know it was Amazon who's hosting that. So we're paying for Amazon now, by the way. But we still have credits with Microsoft for using Microsoft for our experimentation. It has connection to Mosh, so that's how I interface with OpenClaw, with Ringo. But everyone in the company interfaces with Ringo via Slack. So I can just talk to it like, hey, Ringo, can you make me this prototype? Okay, so key takeaways, I have 3. So one is build on your previous successes. So one previous success could be like a previous proposal, or like in our case, it's existing code bases that's in production. So you could use that as a pattern for execution. And number 2, it's very slow to do things remotely. So always make a copy locally. So, and finally, number 3, orchestrate and delegate. Don't make your OpenClaw do all of the things. It's great for orchestration and delegation. But for example, if you give it like coding tasks, it's going to be loaded with a lot of like memory and agents MD, and it's not needed for the coding tasks. So you always want to delegate it through OpenCode or Cloud Code. So I guess that's that. So if you want to reach out, I'm here. Yeah, thank you so much.
All right, thanks, Jesse. All right, our next speaker is Jeff J. Hunter. Jeff J. Hunter, yes, clap. We'll talk about OpenClaw with memory and personality. We built an AI persona OS with Duran, who has persistent memory and actual personality. Take it away, Jeff.
Let's hope that works out. Thank you, Mika. It's Bo.
Oh, Bo. Sorry.
That's okay. All right, let's see if this works. All right, internet. Let's work. There we go. Sweet. All right, so I'm going to skip a lot of the crazy stuff because it looks like a lot of you guys actually already know how to use OpenClaw or have set it up. But boy, has things changed a lot since it first came out. It felt like ChatGPT 3.5. Remember that? Like it would just forget things after a while. And then when you have your memory compaction happen, I don't know, did anybody hear that viral story about Meta's like AI integrator who gave OpenClaw access to her email and it nuked it? Yeah? So the reason why that happened, which is the part of the story that's important to us, is that she gave it a test run on a small inbox and built trust, and everything was going well. And she gave it instructions, but instead of having it hard-coded into the system files, it was just memory in the large language model, right, in the AI model. So in that context window of 200K or 256, depending on what your settings are, it knew and it remembered. And she said, never delete emails without asking. Right? Well, what happened was when she gave OpenClaw access to her big email address, it immediately flooded the context window, reviewing all the emails in her inbox. It compacted the memory, so it didn't have any access to what that previous conversation was. And of course, it forgot the fact that she said, never delete any emails without my permission. And it deleted all of her emails. Now, she was brave. I mean, she's obviously on Meta's AI team and magically
posted on X very bravely that she committed OpenClaw is the law. Rule number 1, security problem. Okay, so I was actually I'm an early contributor to the project. This is me and Peter about, I don't know, a month or that's like a week and a half ago at ClawCon. But yeah, he's pretty cool. So I'm here in the Philippines because I actually own a virtual assistant company here, which, if you know, virtual assistants, call centers, this building, I won't say the word I want to say. I'll say screwed instead. Most call centers are going to be pretty screwed here in about 6 months. You guys know that. If not, if you're someone saying, nah, you needed to hear it more, okay? I'm an IT guy, Fortune 500 project manager in a past life before I started my virtual assistant company. And then I became a marketer when I was broke and I didn't know how to make any money. I got featured in Entrepreneur Magazine for how I used AI. I'm the first documented case on just using AI to create a complete product, campaign everything, and make money with it. That was 2 Black Fridays ago. Seems like yesterday. I'm also a viral marketer. This is stats just from the past 28 days, I think. Last 28 days. This was just from December to January. Last time I took screenshots. I average about 20 million views a month, and you better believe it's all AI generated. And they're storytelling. It's not like those stupid puppy dog videos or whatever. They're posts about politics. They're posts about Jackie, my chief of staff. If you guys remember, I went mega viral during the problems that Cebu had recently. Anyway, I make a lot of money on Facebook. Facebook's paid me, I don't know, on average about $2,500 US a month, not pesos, just for the content that I post. By the way, big tip, find a way to get your audience to be American. Filipino ads don't pay. Okay? So, which brought me to this topic. Everything that I'm sharing with you guys today, I've got it. Does anybody use like a VPS, like Hostinger, DigitalOcean, anything like that? Okay. I figured out a way, and you can come to me, I have my Connect slide at the end. I figured out a way to have a remote desktop, so you have an actual GUI, graphical interface with a desktop, and I have a copy paste. I'm an open source guy. You're not going to pay me for it. I have a one copy paste script that you can do that will take a regular $6.99 a month VPS from Hostinger and install a desktop and a persistent session and a Chrome browser. And for those of you who have a VPS and every time you log in and it's a completely different Chrome and you can't find your terminal, you'll appreciate that. Anyway, I got it down to about $40 a month per. Actually, I'd say you can probably do that with 2. $40 a month to run 2 agents, which is pretty cool, unlimited. Big shout out to Kimmy K API for those cheapskates. Okay. So the problem was, again, the reason why I brought up the meta profile. How much time do I have? I'm sorry, I spent a lot of time there. Okay, I got 5 minutes. I'll run through. So the biggest problem, and the cool part is that I see Peter and the contributors are actually fixing a lot of the problems that I've been talking about, and Peter got to see me present. So, it's kind of a good feeling when stuff that you're coming up with is getting implemented into the project. It's kind of cool. But the fact that like the Sol MD file, who here has like a really good Sol? No. Yeah. And then, of course, I'm a marketer, right? So I'm like, what does everybody want? A Sol maker. So, of course, guess what the name of the skill? If you go to the OpenClaw's clawhub.ai and you type in Sol maker, you'll see my skill, okay? I put together a really good OS, basically an operating system that works for OpenClaw. It's called the AI Persona OS, where it actually gives it a very good soul. There's a couple different things you can do. Number one, you can use, and I'll show you a little bit more, you can use my pre-built souls, or you can use my soul builder. It's about a 10-15 minute guided session where it just interviews you and it builds the right soul, right? Now, of course, if you're just doing lead gen tasks or something where it doesn't need a soul, screw the soul, okay? All right, but when you first install the OS, there's a lot of cool features, like I put security hardening in there for prompt injection. I have a really cool memory protocol. I call it the Never Forget protocol, which I'm going to share with you guys as well. And upgraded heartbeats and workflows and escalation, and also something that I thought was really ridiculous that it doesn't have, which you'll see in the future, is just like a knowledge base of where things are. It's unbelievable how every time the memory compacts and it just forgets, I do have the Chrome Relay browser installed and I can read the web. It'll just tell you, I don't have access to the web. So in my agent workflow, I have an 8-step process where every time a task is done, it goes through a very specific process. So I've also created a workspace. It's a 4-tier workspace. Again, all of this is free. It's on the clawhub.ai. I have over 3,000 downloads as of today on clawhub.ai for the AI Persona OS. You guys can use that, have fun with it. I'm running out of time, so I'm going to go fast, and you guys can take pictures, yeah? But there's everything that's in there. Has anybody else had like amazing amount of like no sleep? No? Like, this has been the funnest time of my life. Like, I feel like I was born for this. My favorite character growing up of every TV show and movie of all time is Data from Star Trek. So you can imagine how much fun I have. And by the way, one of the pre-built souls is Data. So I've taken a lot of Star Trek terminology, and it's like having Data on your computer. All right, guys. So here's the Soul Maker, and you can run through the browser. Everything's interactive inside there. I highly recommend using Discord, just because Discord's really cool. Has a bunch of cool. Slack works good too, but costs money. And here's the security boundaries. I have 1 minute left, guys, so I apologize. I promise, though, I have a Connect slides, and I'll send you guys the slides. Just send me a text that you want it, and or Instagram or whatever you want. LinkedIn works good. Not Facebook, though, because I go viral on Facebook all the time, so my friends list is full. This is the actually most important slide. So I have it so that it actually, every heartbeat, it checks the context window, and it finds out where it is from 0 to 100%. And when it gets to 75%, it creates a checkpoint. That's what they added, by the way. It's very similar to what was added into the last OpenClaw update. It updates your heartbeat. Lots of cool things here. That's me. Thank you, guys. If you want to, I'm going to stick around. I know that they're going to have a lot of things, and any way I can help you, please reach out.
Make time. Awesome. Give it up again for Jeff Hunter. All right. Our next speaker is Xynil, Jhed. I hope I said that right. Xynil, Jhed. Awesome. We're going to talk about OpenClaw as a personal assistant. So Xynil is going to talk about how to give AI safe, contextual access, and create a PA that actually knows you. He's going to be our last speaker for this round. After that, we're going to have a quick group photo and then dinner, and then another set of speakers.
Hello, everyone. Okay, today I'm going to present OpenClaw as your personal assistant. Before we begin, I'm going to introduce myself. So my name is Sai. It's XY. I am a full-stack developer at Hey April, where we built a SaaS tax optimization platform for tax creators. I have also worked as an AI engineer intern at AI First, and finally an AI QA engineer at Boost Capital. And next. So, this is an example of OpenClaw use gone wrong. So I think Jeff mentioned earlier about a Meta specialist that gave access to its email inbox. So this is actually the tweet. This is what he's talking about. So OpenClaw has taken everyone by storm. They use it as their personal assistant, like this one. However, OpenClaw is often misused by a lot of people, where their privacy is compromised. So let's take a look at this tweet. So what's going on here is that OpenClaw is deleting the inbox of OP's email. So it keeps saying, no, don't do that, please stop, and it keeps on going. So yeah, look, you can see the desperation, right? So yeah, so stop, don't do anything, stop OpenClaw, and it didn't really stop. So OpenClaw said, well, I deleted all of your emails, but lesson learned, I won't do it again. So all your emails gone, but sorry. Like I said, I asked you not to do anything, but you still did it. And yeah, I remember, and I won't do it again. So the damage has already been done, right? Another example is this guy. So Claude bot actually killed my hinge date. So it auto replied with a config error. She blocked me. So so user failed to get the huzz because of OpenClaw, basically. So instead of flirting, it says, access not configured. So how can we make OpenClaw as our personal assistant safely, right? And I think security is a very important aspect that most vibe coders must learn. Who's here a vibe coder? You identify yourself as one. Oh, so many. It's okay, it's okay. So it's understandable that you want to make apps, but you gotta do it safely, especially here for OpenClaw. So first, safety first. First, what you want to do is you enforce mandatory confirmations for destructive actions. So earlier, that could have been better. It wouldn't happen if the user uses security deny and it configured to the settings that it will always ask if it's gonna delete something. If you use Claude Code, sometimes it asks you questions, right? It asks you permissions. Hey, I'm gonna code this. Are you sure you wanna do this one? And you're gonna say yes or no. So yeah, you enforce that so that OpenClaw doesn't delete randomly. Second is you implement sandboxing and read-only mods. So this is really safe. You just ask OpenClaw to create and to read stuff. That's a lot safer because you don't want your data to go away all of a sudden, right? Number 3, isolate OpenClaw with a separate phone number. So Pete actually have a tweet about this. It's a reply from the hinge date that I saw you earlier. He says something like, it's in the documents that it's highly recommended you use your OpenClaw bot on a separate phone number. So if you have an extra SIM card on your phones, it's highly recommended that you use that over your primary phone number. And lastly, read the documents. So it's really important, whether you're an engineer or a vibe coder, reading the documents is really important so that you don't have any problems with OpenClaw. So this is my setup as a personal assistant. This is my taste because I'm a developer, but there isn't really a single best configuration for OpenClaw. It really depends on what you want. So this is what I like. So first is give OpenClaw your taste and personality. So like Jeff said, you modify Sol.md and AI Persona OS. You can do that so that the AI isn't just boring, right? Second, GitHub. You can review GitHub PRs and issues in management. So I use OpenClaw to review some pull requests and issues. So it's really good if you're outside and some intern pushes a code and you don't have your laptop, right? So you just want to review on your WhatsApp. And number 3, fetch research papers, latest tech news. So I'm a type of guy that's always curious on what's the latest stuff, whether that be a new model or a new research paper. I'm a undergraduate computer science, so I'm really curious as to what algorithms or new stuff that's has been established. And finally, independent tester. So this is actually, you need to use this with caution because QA is actually important. You need a human evaluator. But for this one, you can actually ask OpenClaw to do a local test, whether executing unit test or end-to-end. That can be done as well. So here an example of mine. So these are the daily research and news sent to my WhatsApp. I haven't really given bought a isolated phone number because I don't think iPhone 13 has dual SIM. But yeah, here it is, and this is the QA result that I did. These are all cron jobs, right? So they execute in a scheduled manner. So there it is. And okay, that's really about it. It's just short and sweet. And if you guys are curious on what I'm working on, you're free to visit these QR codes. Thank you very much, guys.
So hi everybody. Hi everybody. My name's Niño, Amor, and today I'm going to talk about something really simple. And of course, a lot of good guys are like have a lot of problems in trying to understand how OpenClaw works. So I feel like that's where I got this skill from. So I wasn't planning to make a product, or I wasn't planning to make an open source repo using my startup's API for this. I was actually just trying to optimize my OpenClaw for a specific use case, or optimize my OpenClaw basing on what other people have been doing with OpenClaw. So that's why I just made this skill up. And yeah, it's just me trying to use deep research to help OpenClaw understand itself better. So it's really started from frustration talaga, since from the start, I feel like a couple months ago, the start of OpenClaw, I mean, it was not a one deploy, one click button, you can deploy OpenClaw quickly. It had to do with a lot of manual debugging. And it took me like around a week or a week and a half to like just properly set up my OpenClaw. That's why I was really interested in like understanding how other people were doing their OpenClaw instances. Kaya I made this skill. About me, simply, I guess you can call me an AI consultant. I do project management. I also do a lot of AI testing and AI support for other companies. But right now I do GTM community and AI workflows at PokeAI. So I guess a little bit of context in why I made this skill and also why I was interested in OpenClaw was because our startup is actually a natural language platform for you to just use natural language to make automations and workflows via the agent. So yeah, our founder is Bill Zhu. She is the applied learning lead for Meta, and right now I'm working under them. I'm part of the technical and also the marketing team. So I work for this product, which is the deep research skill. I worked with one of the ex-Meta researchers, Yiwan. So yeah, the problem is for me before, I did test a lot of skills. I did test a lot of research skills, and I really felt like it was lacking. And sorry. So like web search was not really that satisfying for me. Web crawling was great, but it wasn't like there was no proper synthesis and no proper formatting whatsoever, and no proper understanding. So it wasn't really easily digestible. And for a business setting, I feel like proper research is really important, especially if you're somebody who's also part of marketing. You have to understand where something goes, or where is it actually headed from. And Perplexity, I also did Tuvili. I did also like other research skills even before my presentation. I tested other research skills that had me trying to set up a lot of external APIs, both free tiers and others, which was such a hassle. Basically, and then what I did was I also noticed that even though we do automations mainly, we do have a research side of the company as well. It's open source. OpenClaw is open source. That's why I thought of it. And basically, what's just my goal was to make deep research easy. So yeah, it's an open source auto model. State-of-the-art, Gaia, Browsecamp, HLE, Apache 2.0 licensed. So OpenClaw is the agent and our research engine, using our deep research model as something that OpenClaw can use to optimize itself for the better. Of course, you can do other use cases for it, like market analysis, competitor research, understanding what works and what doesn't work, understanding if that tool is valid, assertive, or not. And yeah, what you can see here is what the actual skill produces. I can't give a live demo because like other research skills, other research skills do research fast, but this takes around 7 to 25 minutes. Of course, you can spawn another sub-agent for it, but yeah, I feel like for the demo, it's just 10 minutes only. I can't really show it quickly, but I can show you the output. I already did this, so it's basically what I told you. Basically, what my interests were. I was about how OpenClaw can be better and like specific use cases and such. So yeah, the struggles was that ClawHub was a lot of undocumented skills. I wasn't really that understanding of it. I know that one speaker here said that you should also like just actually ask your OpenClaw to make skills for you. But what I did was like ask OpenClaw using the deep research API to look into like what are the actual research, what are the actual ClawHub skills that are actually security vetted or are actually being used properly. So like yeah. So yeah, so like this is where depth beats speed. The deep research skill I made has 3 total outputs: the outline, the write-up, and the JSON for programmatic use. And its unique feature is conflict resolution. So when sources disagree, it also references them and also understands why something is different from the other. So Pokey explains why they differ, and others just show the conflict, basically. And it's also 75% cheaper than OpenAI, Gemini, or Perplexity. I actually tested Perplexity again yesterday, and it took like $3 for just like a simple couple hundred words of research. So yeah, basically these are the research models. So the open source deep research model we have is open source. You can use it in a 80 GB GPU. I forgot the name. I'm gonna look it up after this. Actually, I'm also gonna show you to you guys the output after I've said this. And yeah, the deep research OpenClaw skill and also PokeAI if you guys are interested in just automating your workflows by using natural language. Like we have, I guess that's also the reason why I was really interested in OpenClaw, because there's a lot of security vulnerabilities, and like I guess that's also one of the things that I'm doing outside of the startup that I'm in right now is talking to cybersecurity people about the future of AI in terms of infrastructure. And yeah, so it matters because OpenClaw can research how others are structuring workflows, which skills are commonly paired, what's broken, what's missing, and what patterns exist. And it recommends improvements based on real ecosystem data, and also what one of the speakers earlier said, if it knows what you do, and if it knows who you are, what you're interested in, what are your specific use cases, and what you're trying to be in the future. For example, my OpenClaw knows what I'm trying to be, what I've been doing, and also has created like 15 or 20 structured workflows already for it, and also like also orchestrates sub-agents for it. It also understands that and makes specific recommendations based on that. And another thing is like another instance of what you can do is like, yeah, this skill is something that you can reformat well. So of course, if you have understanding for it, maybe you can create a skill that is actually naturally recurring and pair it with the evolver skill or the self-improving capability agent skill, which in turn can make it always improving every single day. So yeah. I didn't build this because I wanted another skill. I built it because I was tired of guessing, and I wanted OpenClaw to understand how people are using it. So it can optimize itself better for each of us, and that's it. And yeah, it becomes more intelligent about its own ecosystem, and yeah, thank you. And I guess, do I show the output? Oh yeah, sure, I'll show the output na lang mabilis. Oh, sorry. Yeah, these are the outputs that these 3 are the outputs of what I asked earlier before this live presentation. I'm just gonna show it quickly. This is the response JSON, so it's just all plain JSON files. And then this is the write-up. Oh shit, sorry. So it's a comprehensive optimization analysis for an OpenClaw AI agent, and then you can ask it for your own specific use case and like how you can improve it and for recommendations. And it's actually pretty detailed and it's properly formatted, so it's easily digestible. So if ever your company is using this, you can also use it for that use case. But for me, it was just for OpenClaw, and I was just doing a lot of GTM work. That's why. Yeah, it's 31 pages long, so it's kind of long, and it also actually formats it well. So it also, and at the end, it references your sources. So yeah, that's it. Thank you. Okay, thank you po.
All right, thank you, Niño.
I think there's more food. So feel free to eat your food while you're sitting down, because that's what I'm gonna do. I was talking too much and couldn't eat. All right. And did everyone try the bug better samples? Did you see that? Yeah. Yeah. Good job. Good job. All right. Can everyone hear me in the back?
Yeah.
No.
Sorry.
No more.
Can you all hear me in the back?
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you. Thanks, dude. How about on the very, very back on the other side? Can you guys hear me? Yes, yes, yes. All right. We're gonna now have a few words from our sponsors, and then get back to some of our show and tells. So I implore you all to listen. Please settle down. I'm going to now call on Josue from Kusha World, who helped organize our food. Give him a round of applause.
Hello, good evening, everybody. Everyone's hopefully full or kind of full. So I was introduced as a sponsor, but I couldn't consider myself more of a co-host. I messaged Miggy, one of the original organizers, around a week and a half, and I was like, dude, you're friends, you gotta do OpenClaw Manila. I saw Stipe's thing about the Luma calendar. I was like, you gotta do this. Little did I know they were already doing it, but I said, please let me in. Please let me in. So I started to do anything. I said, we don't have food. I was like, all right, I'm gonna call every other CEO and friend I know, and I'm gonna say, okay, we need to find a way for food. And then I could not find one in short notice, so I made my company sponsor it. So here I am with some time to speak. All right. So I'll try and keep this short and a little lively because I know everyone's a little sleepy at this point. So representing one of my organizations called Kusha World, and Kusha World is a community venture studio backing one entertainment IP world. And so I'll share a bit about my story and how this all kind of comes back to why I wanted to hopefully share something or support this event for OpenClaw. So it's a bit of a journey. I promise it's less than 10 minutes, but hopefully it'll keep you guys a little bit entertained. So hi, I'm Joe. Let me know if I'm mumbling. I get excited. I'm a serial founder and I specialize in 0 to 1. But I'm really from two worlds. I'm founder for 14 years in both content and tech. And I'm happy to have some friends who are great content people also here who are very curious how to use OpenClaw. So in tech, I have a very, I think, colorful, somewhat history. In 2012, when I graduated, I was the runner-up for my team for the first Startup Manila weekend ever. In 2023, I exited my first company called Meta Sports, a media venture studio. And in 2024, I exited another company called Jhed, which is a blockchain game inventory app. In 2024, I co-founded another game called Jutsu World, which is a hybrid card and tabletop digital collectible game, raised $500,000 from public using the ERC 404 standard with no VCs and angels. So I've had a very blessed time. I kind of noticed I had a huge 11-year gap as a founder, as a serial founder. And I think for everyone here who's more technical, I hope to entertain you with a bit more colorful content history. So in content, for those who are old enough, I don't know if you ever saw the first corporate viral video by a major company here, by Smart Telecom, called The Girl Dropped 600, where it was the first company corporate video ever when viral was new to hit 1 million views in a week or so. So that is me. I was the producer when it was my company. I was 23 years old, and it landed at Smart Telecommunications in Ayala, and Ayala is a client. So I had to choose content or tech. I left the company that was the runner-up to the Startup Manila weekend to pursue a company doing content. I was also one of the first people to have a modern artist representation agency. We managed over 20 different kinds of artists, the first to kind of do all the back-end admin in 2014. And I'm glad to say many of these talents are some of the staples of the creative industry today with the top clients around the world. Today I'm a proud owner as well of one of the first in the award-winning international esports and game design studio called Overdrive. We have 10 people. We have every major game company maybe as a client, Moonton, Riot Games, the campaigns you see of Riot and Valorant here in the country. We do all the brand work and now the agency work here as well. 10-man team, extremely creative, very blessed to be a partner. I was the first ever to bring Valorant tournament professional to the country and Grab as a sponsor into esports ever in the pandemic with Grab Food. So if you ever, at the pandemic 2020, that first time when Valorant became extremely wild for all these Gen Z kids or older, it was made possible because I brought Grab in and it kind of spurred the entire thing here in the country. I was able to travel the world at the early set of, I know many people have things about blockchain or Axie here, but we were doing it in 2020 as an experiment to do new games, and we were the first professional from Web 2 to ever bring esports to the entire space, and was able to travel the world and award over $500,000 in prizes to professional gamers. That became my venture studio. We invested in movies, VTubers, character IPs, tried to tokenize and help them raise money to be more than they could be, esports orgs, and that was my first acquisition in 2023 as an exit. Some stats of having started more than 12 companies in 14 years. The average number of staff of each of my companies and projects or brands in 13 plus years was 4.6. The number of startup teams I'm leading and co-founding now, 4. The number of, 2, sorry, it was dated. The number of orgs or projects and portfolio companies I'm an active contributor or advisor to is 4. In 2024, I sold a vibe-coded app I made called Jhed before Claude to a gaming studio based in New York. And I did it, wait, I don't know what happened here. Long story short, I did it, okay, wait lang. Long story short, the slide disappeared, but I did it myself. This was before Claude, this was before a Claude Code. Essentially, I hodgepodged everything together from ChatGPT. Very late technical experience. And thankfully, the utility was sensible enough to somebody. I had raised a small angel round, and it was acquired by a gaming studio in New York. So what am I saying today? All of this was possible, because I give this talk sometimes to private communities and some students, because I know there are many students on the list, because I was able to do this before what's possible today. And I guarantee everybody hasn't used OpenClaw, or starting their founder journey now, or trying to find a way to do their own thing, that it's easier today than ever before, right? So let me get back to where OpenClaw kind of fits into all this. So one of the things I did with some exit money was acquire a distressed asset community brand called Kusho. And I had this vision of trying to bring my two worlds together by adding a protocol on top of an entertainment IP. For many of you who are technical here, you know that decentralized building is very possible with technical means. But a lot of the things that I've experienced with working with more technical or protocol-like communities or products is that when the moment they get the content, decentralizing that, distributing that around the world is very difficult. And so I had this crazy idea of, was there a way to create a distributed team to build on top of one IP to solve, from my experience, I promise you, hopefully you believe in my experience, there's a saying that many founders, first time focus on the product, the second time they focus on distribution. And this is for distribution. So some core stats about this community. It's just a distributed network of Filipinos across all the country, around the world. I've never met many of them. And they work in all countries, all different things around the world. And this is what they do with their time as builders. We have 15 core contributors, 300 plus active members. We have resident artists, Filipinos in major companies and more. And essentially, this is very complicated as a protocol concept. I'll keep it very simple for all of you and why it comes back to OpenClaw. Our core contributor team builds all of the infra of the IP of the entertainment. It's an anime-inspired Filipino world, right? And we build the core story, the infra to do commerce and everything. Our contributing developers and artists expand that world. They get rewarded for that world. Our IP gets more popular, which I'll share in a bit. And then people can build on top of that for more distribution. So how does that actually work in practice? One of our IPs is a cute Filipino thing called Familiars. And a gamer who, this is my best story ever. He was working in a major tech company, I can't name the name, last year. They were early to Cloud Code, and he got retrenched. But his dream was to become a game designer. So he was part of our community, and he said, okay, we already offered this to our community. He decided to make mini games. He said, can I use the distribution of your popular kind of like, thing on social media and use your characters to make concept games to prove my game design skills? He did it, he prototyped it, launched it kind of privately, and now he is in a major game studio based out of Japan. So that is like for me, trust me, so my friends here know, like Burn others, I've tried to stop working on this community, but it refuses. So that's an example. For the non-technical, we had a student who was an accountant, and she was like, okay, people wanted merch because it's like a streetwear Japanese Filipino brand. I can do drop shipping. It's like, okay, I never want to do commerce. It's like, I will take care of all of it. So our team built up a Shopify store, built a supply, she did all the supply line, and she now owns our streetwear store and makes money from that. So why OpenClaw? Why OpenClaw? I promise it's going to end soon. So one of the things in the world that we built is this thing called Familiar. So for the Filipinos here, these are Filipino-inspired chibi characters like Sundo, Duende, Darna, and Diwata. And they're based on Philippine folklore and our cuter take on like all the scary, haunted stuff because we needed things to be more consumer adopted. We thought if the builders are going to build on top of us for free, we needed to make something that was palatable for Filipinos. And with a resident artist and just a cool set of community members, we have, with zero spend, been able to go viral on TikTok with multi-million views and hundreds of thousands of views as of this month on Instagram. We have now brand deals coming through our door. We have executed some of these brand deals because of it, because it's just freaking lovably cute. So one of the things that last year happened to the community is we became very obsessed with the concept 2 years ago of agentic pets and companions. When LLMs came out, everyone was like, oh, we have to make the super agent, we have to make the singularity. And we were like, oh, we kind of want to make just, Pokemon, but helpful, And there was a hackathon that came out about autonomous worlds. And a small group of devs won a hackathon about the concept of adding LLMs to an agentic pet community and world. They pitched it, they won it, and we got a grant, and they're currently now an indie game dev studio building it. So we build things. I'll give an example. I'll explain where OpenClaw comes into this. One of the other startups that's spinning out of this community as I'm leading is called Mythical. You can go to mythical.com. It's an early access and demos now. And we're also building the system of record. Maybe I can share it. It's, I guess for simple explanation, it's Wiki meets Wattpad. If you are building a world, you can upload all of your nerdy things you wrote as a world builder when you were a kid, and it'll automatically make your wiki, or what we like to call a mythi, or if you're Filipino, mithi, like your idea or dream. It'll organize everything for you. And for writers, we already have writers being onboarded and creators being onboarded. And so what does that mean for OpenClaw? I'm inviting all of you, as we release it soon. I promise, I'm running out of breath. I'm gonna get soon. Bill out. Okay. With Mythical, and we're open sourcing our graphics and art database on GitHub for builders. Distribution is hard. So you'll be able to point an agent, or if you want to be one of those people, I want to make an office swarm that looks really cool and is pixelated, but everyone's doing it. You can point it at a Mythical, which will allow it to be public, and you will be able to have characters of your OpenClaw that are fully contextualized to a rich world of characters and art that is not always pixel. And use our distribution to test your product. That's the idea. This is free. You can do whatever you want. We will, if you make something with the repos, we will post it on all the social media. Check if you are going to get your customers or your distribution out, and have fun. So that is what we are. And I'm inviting you all guys to try it and hopefully build something of your own. And I hope you guys find a meaningful founder's journey there.
All right, so usually I just join these events and I also just eat. But this time around, thankful to the leadership at Civ We actually paid for the food. So, along with the other sponsors. So, now I have to do a talk about ourselves, which I usually don't do. All right. So, thank you, David. This one will be quick. And he did something to my laptop that I don't know now how to undo. There you go. So, he went full screen. I'm exposing everything. Okay. What I wanted to do was show you a bit of what we do with OpenClaw and what I personally did, no? Which was when David approached me there about 10 minutes ago, he said, dude, you ready? And I said, oh shit, yeah, I do. My daughter's here, by the way, so I have to keep it PG-13, PG 4 years old. Okay, so I was like, what do I say? What do I say? I didn't think about it. I was hard at work all day. So I opened up my Telegram, which I am about to now show you. Okay. So I have a bot called Bebot. Because in Telegram, it has to end with bot, right? You know that. Your bot has to end with the name bot, with like the word bot. So it's like, what's a bot? Like, I don't want people to think that I'm talking to a bot. So, si Bebot yung kausap ko. Then I have another bot, I call that one Ambot. So, February 25, 8:26 p.m., I said here, I sponsored an OpenClaw event. I need to make a quick web slides to talk about SIMF and MWell Consulta MD, which I'm part of. Make me a draft website talking about SIMF, SIMF.co, also about MWell Consulta MD. Give me a ClawFather tunnel URL. So it does its magic. Let me grab some info about SIMF, build the slides. Let me build the slides and serve them. No tunnel for blah, blah, blah. Got it. Here's your presentation. Wow! I click it. And then, shit. So, I go back in, copy, paste that thing. What the heck? Oh, tunnel died. Let me restart it. Oh, really? Okay. Server's up. Now the tunnel. Try that one. Copy paste that. Come on, that other guy. Thank God he's taking so long to talk. Peace, bro. Loved your colorful presentation. Bought me some time. Do it again. Let me debug this properly. Finally. Yeah, you should have done that the first time, right? Server is up. New tunnel. Blah blah blah. On a new URL. Okay, this one should be stable now since it's running via NoHop. Give it a try. Okay, I click that and I open it. I'm like, oh, so cool. Then I was like, actually, that was not the first website. It was like SIMF plus MWell and Consulta MD change. I was like, dude, like, I have to clarify a bit, revise a bit. SIMF is a separate company of mine. MWell and Consulta MD is a totally separate company of the MVP group, which I work for now, right? Suddenly, baka tawag ako ni MVP. I'm like, what are you talking about? Rethink the flow. So I updated, blah, blah, blah. Okay, great. So here I am. Oh, yeah. Hi, guys. I'm Albert. Builder, engineer, founder, co-founder, CTO of SIMF. And right now, I'm with Consulta MD and MWell. I run product and innovations. I'm also here with my colleague Stanley and Doc Raymond over there. So say hi to those folks. So what is SIMF? We're about shipping products for 16 plus years now. That guy is wrong. 50 plus projects delivered. Dude, that's like 2,000 already. I don't know where they got that. Yes, we were started in Cebu, but now we're really nationwide, fully remote, 100 plus engineers, people working around the Philippines. So our clients are, yes, DBM, M. Luilier, Abaca Group, Metro Pacific, Cavallo, China Card Service. There's more, World Bank, and so on. Thank you, OpenClaw. What we do at SIMF, end-to-end product engineering, so custom software development, system rescue. I didn't even know we called it that, but that's what OpenClaw said. But it's true. Inherited a broken system, we stabilize, refactor, and modernize legacy code bases. Wow. Growth engineering. Wow. Scale what works. That's true. We do stuff in the cloud, but now we just kind of tell Claude, do stuff in the cloud. And then that's what happens. We also do a lot of AI. I think Raven, CTO of SIMF, will actually... by the way, I'm no longer CTO of SIMF. That's wrong. So Raven, the CTO of SIMF, will be the one to talk about what we do there. So one of the projects, a client I'm proud of, I didn't see this slide. One of the projects we work on is helping build the future of healthcare in the Philippines. Oh, this is true. Okay, this is MWell. Okay, so what is MWell? The MWell is the Philippines' first all-in-one health and wellness app. Online doctor consultation, fitness tracking, or download it in App Store and Play Store, wearables, lab tests. These are 2 watches. You might think I'm weird. We actually have this MWell watch, right? This is an Apple Watch. I compared accuracy. But usually the accuracy is not super the same. So now I just compare the price. This is 50,000. This is 2,999. So, yon. All right. So we do that. It's available globally. So these are our products and services. This is 3 point something already. Got the digits inverted. It's not 2.8, 3 point something million on the MWell side. DOH accredited. I'll accept it. Thank you, OpenClaw. No, for during COVID, we were DOH accredited for the teleconsult part. Consulta MD is consulta.md, ha? It's not consultamd.com. We don't own that domain. All right? So consulta.md. We are the Philippines' leading telehealth platform. Paano si MWell, no? So, MWell acquired Consulta MD last year from our friends at Ayala. So it focuses on teleconsult. So if you have something for your teleconsult, you want to talk to a doctor, you got to get a med certificate, you have problems like a headache or whatever, don't tiis it. Hindi ka natulog kasi nag-OpenClaw ka all night, you woke up with a migraine, call a doctor. Yeah. Open Consulta MD, talk to a doctor, they will give you a reseta. You can order it via the app, the prescription, the pharmacy will deliver it to your house. So you don't need to leave. You can just continue prompting your agents. And if medyo na-frustrate ka na, you can also talk to our mind health or mental health doctors or psychologists and like that. Anyways, in closing, I'm really amazed by everything here. Let's build together. So this is the tagline that OpenClaw gave me. Whether it's custom software, healthcare platforms, or AI-powered products, I'm always up for a conversation about building these things that matter. Panindigan na natin yan. So in closing, I like the building things that matter, no? Because I remember the marketing guy, dude, the cool guy who talked about like the VA stuff. There, Jeff, the VA stuff that were really kind of screwed. You know what? I think there's a bit of risk and truth to that, where the industry is high at risk. I'm really excited by the crowd here. Very vibrant crowd, very passionate. We're building the builders. I think a large part of what happens next will be dependent on what you guys here will create. And there will be a lot of people that will be displaced. I mean, frankly, we're getting displaced already, right? So there will be a lot of people displaced, and I think those people will be helpless. They don't know what to do, they don't know what to transition to. But I think you guys won't be as helpless. And I think the future of our neighborhoods, our friends, our families, our nation is largely dependent on what you guys think of, create the use cases here. So I'm really happy to support this event. And I want us to continue this in the sharing. I think the sharing is really important. So really happy to see the speakers share. So I want to hand this mic back over to the host. David, thank you so much. Gia, Glenn, and Mika for organizing this.
Thank you. It was hard to do an intro for you, so you just did it for yourself.
Thank you.
Okay, so we're going to resume our
Great talk.
show and tell. Who's coming up next? Game. Let's go.
All right. This is called Clogora. So they actually uses OpenClaw in Agora. So it's like you're interacting with OpenClaw to voice to voice. So we've seen this, like the way we interact into AI is like through chat, right? Like from the chatbots into like the LLM. Actually, if you've noticed that the actual big leap is not just having the LLM, but also on how we interact to the AI. Okay. So here's the problem, or maybe a simple problem on your productivity. So it's actually when you're using OpenClaw, it's kind of helpful, but it's still kill focus, throughput, and you lose focus because you keep switching. Like if you ask something to OpenClaw, you still have to validate and think about it and then click and then execute. What if you can just let the OpenClaw to do it like you're talking to them like just like they're the real assistants, okay? So it's actually clearing the gap between just the chat. It's like the flow would be like continuous with this. So I will share the architecture for this. So it's actually simple. So there's like a client, and then it uses the Agora conversational engine, and with the OpenClaw, which is running in the simple EC2 instance. So whatever you give to OpenClaw skill, it can it can execute. So for example, I will ask OpenClaw to do me a deep research for what happened on let's say in the past 7 days. And then can you give me like the top 3 and then send it to Discord, and also do a strike Jira ticket. So maybe we can consider this as a feature request. Or also maybe you can also send this to Slack if it's like a high level news that you can share with your team. So as you can see here, like there's a different like OpenClaw skills like you can equip with the with your OpenClaw instance. So not just sending message, but also whatever skills that you give it. For example, just like the other use cases that we've heard, we can tell the OpenClaw to do that. So yeah, here's the. So for the flow would be like it's understand the request and then confirm safely when needed and then execute the task. Okay, here's the simple demo. Oops. Okay.
Hello, this is Clawgora. How can I help?
How are you doing today?
Doing well, awake, focused, and ready to help. What are you working on today, or what would you like to knock out next?
Can you please make a research on top 3 technology topic this week and send the top 1 topics and top 2 to Discord to share this with my team, and after that maybe send also this to Telegram. And based on the 3 topics, can you evaluate whether we can build a relevant feature prototype or integration? And then if yes, create already description for a Jira ticket, and including the feature description, use case or technical scope.
Yes, we can turn the top topics into Jira tickets. Also, quick correction, I didn't actually send anything to Telegram yet in this run. I'd need to use the messaging tool. If you want, I can send once we finalize the wording. Below are ready-to-paste Jira ticket drafts you can use immediately. I'll assume you want 1 ticket per topic, or 1 combined spike plus 1 implementation ticket. Option A, recommended. 1 spike ticket to validate, then 1 build ticket.
All right.
Ticket 1.
I think you can proceed it. You can just generate whatever you want. Thank you for your help.
Understood. I'll stop here and won't proceed with any further research, Jira drafting, or sending to Telegram. You're welcome, Henny. If you want to pick this back up later, tell me, 1, confirm the Telegram chat to send to, and 2, whether you want A, 1 Jira spike ticket first, or B, straight to an implementation ticket. Otherwise, I'll stay idle.
So it's actually, executed the task that you've given. So what the good thing about using the conversational AI engines, because it's handle like the state and turn detection as well as, there's like an interruption handling. So whenever even the OpenClaw is speaking, you can interrupt it and then put, a new idea into it. So it's like the OpenClaw acts as the LLM with such different tools and skills, which makes it very powerful. Like I actually in my experience yesterday, I was doing a vibe code, and then I was just trying to train this OpenClaw, and then like giving like different tasks, and then just send it to Discord. I mean for now, because I haven't really give some API access to the my OpenClaw instance. So I just simply made the setup for this. So I just put some simple but very helpful soul. And then for the identity, I just named it H2. Like I want the OpenClaw to act as my second brain. So the funny thing about this is every time I talk, I was still seeing the terminal, and it keeps updating. The memory, whatever I ask him like to remember, and also to take note as an important thing. Let's just say sometimes it does make mistake, like send it twice. So to correct him, I ask him like whenever you do it, like send it once, have like a checklist or confirmation so that you can avoid it next time. Yeah, that's it.
Can start? All right. Sige. So, okay, hold on. Sige, before I start, maybe I'll just ask a question first. No? So, again, who among you here have tinkered already with OpenClaw? All right. That's a good show of hands. Of course, we're in a Claw meetup, no? So I think there's bound to be people who have already been tinkering about it, or at least plan to tinker on it soon. But another question, kasi this is a pattern that I also see when people tinker with their OpenClaw, they have created their own use cases, their workflows, whatsoever. The next usual step is they create their own dashboard or like a mission control kind of thing. Who did that on their OpenClaw instances? Okay, see 1, 2, 3. Okay, few hands. So I'll get back on that mission control thing after I do some intros and then how we get from OpenClaw to something like this. So what I'm sharing is how Synth is becoming an AI native agency. So kanina when I was there, and then Albert was talking, it was so fun in a sense because all of the quirks there, all of the things that he just did and what happened, that's so real. And like we're building, things happen. The important thing is you know why these things also happen, and then you build. That's the paradigm shift that I think is key to being successful to this new era. You know why? Just a few years back, or even siguro just a year or 2 years also back, as builders, or maybe for me, it is like a coder by heart talaga. When I build things, it's usually these things. No, it's like, it's in order. I know what I want to build. I learn the things that I need to build that, and then I build that, right? Whether I hack it, I mod it, and then I refine. Right now, it's kind of like, there's this parang different kind of paradigm that's happening. Like, what's happening is that you can already tell it what you want to happen, what you want to build, and it builds for you, and then you start learning, paano niya ginawa to? How is it doing this? How is everything connected? It sounds so funny, but it actually is a precursor to how things became what they are in here. And like the mind shift unlock na, okay, that's an aha moment. Okay, so let me share you a story about this. So it really started with a question, what does the future of work look like? Like, how does that look like at SIM? And how do we become truly a native software agency ourselves? No? So we've been using tools like devs are using coding with agents. Is that it? Marketing are maximizing content tools. AI generate content. The sales are using MCPs. Hey, Apollo, generate me these leads. And all the rest of the other departments. Is that what it means to be AI native? I was thinking, there's something missing. It feels a bit, I would say, fragmented. No, like it seems like everyone is just doing their own thing. There's no proper institutional knowledge across all of what's happening across the AI tools, and then the AI is just basically just another tool. So that's what it feels like. And everyone doing AI things, nobody's doing the same AI things. So context lived on silos. whether you create the wikis and documentations, you can do that. You can standardize stuff, still feel a bit siloed, So, and each day, I feel like the AI, for my personal things that I'm doing, is learning and learning, but why the rest of my team is not able to get this as fast as I can get these kinds of learnings and skills? So so the precursor to answering this question is actually our COO. So this is so fun because Jari, our COO, I think he saw this post about second brain with Obsidian and then Claude. And then the one different thing in his prompt that is different from my prompt when I was doing this thing is that when I prompt to, let's say, Claude, whatsoever, I usually already have the idea of how I want it to work, right? Create this database, you do this and that, ganyan, ganyan, ganyan. So it's very like me telling Claude and the AI whatever I want it and how I want it to happen, right? Like the how part. Jari, on the other hand, the prompt was just like, hey, I want this. Do whatever you need to make this happen for me. I was like, boom, 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 boom. I suggest a second brain, boom, 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 boom. I create an inbox system, boom, 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 boom. I create a skill for this and that, for this and that, for this and that. And then eventually it evolved to a personal OS, where just imagine, he just dropped the transcript on the inbox in the Obsidian or whatever text or whatever file system is using. He dropped the transcripts there, images, and then he says process my messages on Discord, process my messages on my inbox on Gmail, and then it processes everything, put in the second brain, gives an idea, and task to do, and it's evolving because Jari is also a very well-read person. So I read this book about the principles of this and that. I want you to incorporate that so that when I make a correction, you should be learning that, and this is how you should be doing this correction. This should be how you'll be applying this correction the next time around. So his personal OS is actually becoming a better AI even than what I was trying to do. So good, so good. I want to copy this, and he shared it to the rest of the team, and the rest of the team was just mind blown, poof. And then okay, this is a eureka moment. We have to do this on a agency-wide, no? The whole team-wide. Everyone should be doing this, and we should have a shared brain kind of thing. So this is what Jari did, no? And then everyone's just building their own personal OS, basically just a cloud code to your Obsidian, and then keep it running and running with all the memory and stuff. So it's kind of like a rudimentary OpenClaw, I would say, without the crons and other active stuff. It has the skills already also to do what's necessary. So kind of built parang agent orchestrator. So we built something like this. But the coding team built something like this. You can build your own agents. Let's say, for example, I built Albert, the critique, David, the startup consultant, Raven, the CTO, the Pixel, the image creator, and then you just chat what you want, and then they're gonna work together to do those things. This was fun. No, it's like a fun experiment, agents working together, but it's also a little bit messy. No, and then people just became fragmented. And then the reason was that it's not not augmenting, but it's not it's not doing it in a way that is not making them do an entirely different thing. No, so what I mean is that when they use this, when they try to use this, it feels like they're doing a very different thing than what they're used to do. So there's always that, change barrier. So what we want is something that can make them change towards the better, but also at the same time acknowledges their current flow that works for them, and that should be helpful for us to move forward. So when we research what we want to do, it's also a really great timing when OpenClaw just really hyped up. I think we're still in around 4th week right now. And so we built this. So this is now our whole operating system. So I'm gonna probably end my slides there and just gonna show you around. So this is Symphony. Think of this as your dashboard for your OpenClaw, right? But for us, for Sim, this is the dashboard of our operations as an agency. And this is the nice thing about this. The nice thing about this is these are all files and stuff.
And since this is built in OpenClaw, it's not really a typical website where it's just a website and then you streamline everything. Every phase, the OpenClaw can build itself. So technically, they can just chat to the AI and just, hey, I don't want this dash. I want you that every morning you should go to Product Hunt, Reddit, whatsoever, and then create a dashboard for us on the top AI tech news. So you know about this Pentagon and Tropic. This is so on fire right now. Product Hunt, trending, and then suggest something that we can create. Very timely. So kasi sabi dito kanina, no, it's like a voice-first vibe coding platform. So pretty on the spot. So yeah, so this is the dashboard, and then sales team. No, so the sales team also wanted their own. Okay, I think I need to use my. So the sales team also wanted to create their own dashboard. So they asked Arya, that's the name of our OpenClaw. Hey Arya, we want our own sales dashboard. So this is what you do, and then it created this one. Hey, I want to change this. I need this and that. You see the pattern here? The pattern here is that all of this is actually communicated on Discord. We're doing multiplayer with Arya, just only one agent. And then each of the department works with the AI based on their own flow, based on what they want. And we have the team that enables that behind the scenes. Basically, the agents team and then the people who's doing the build. And now we're able to, using this platform, we're able to build multiple products per day. In fact, since it started, it's around already 169 products, and 39 of those already shipped. So there's a sales pipeline. We have the marketing. We even have a taste kitchen, for checking out the operations. We even have like the overall progress and how much in total we cost to build that product. So in terms of estimate lang from the tokens used, and we have so when you build a product, it's gonna do a market research, competitor analysis, uses OpenClaw behind the scenes to do a web search, deep research whatsoever, and then it can also do build. So meaning it's also able to code and develop and deploy using our own standards. And then this one, we're just using compound engineering, Ralph Wiggum combo with a cloud code agent SDK instantiated, and then we just leave it there. It's probably gonna get it to around 90 or 80%, and then the rest of the team just chat. And then the fun thing was that our PMs and the product managers was just going at it at Discord, chatting at it until it deployed to production. It was so fun to see. And then, yeah, it can do that. So my point in all this, it can also do designs. No? So it can also do designs, transfer it to Figma if there's a designer, or just use the design generated from the AI. So all of this are chattable to AI. So you can just chat to OpenClaw, hey OpenClaw, I don't like this part here, and it just changes it automatically. And the way to do that is that everything here are just files on your workspace, right? And then here, yada. So that's how we made it happen. And so the point that I'm trying to make here, okay, it's loading. Okay, there's also one of these things that's amusing to me. Okay, this is a team chatting on Arya on Discord, having their own threads there. And it's also one of the things that parang, this is like a really amusing times to live in. This is me. Ralph has context on SimPay. He's one of our parang wrapper to multiple payment gateways. And then I want Arya to have that capability to implement SimPay by itself to all our products. So Ralph has the context. He's a real human. Real human. Sorry. He's a human. All right. No real human, no fake human. So, and then look at this. I can tag Arya, I need you to collaborate with Ralph. Basically, what you lack right now for the product apps are building with the coding agent that blah, blah, blah. So basically, I'm giving the instructions to work with a human to give you the context you need to build this for the agency. And then, boom, 2 hours later, they work together, chat. Done. So fun. So, yeah, OpenClaw gave us that foundation. It was so easy to set up, and I was just talking at it, basically hacking things out, and getting attacked every day. Like the VPS, and so like always get these attacks every day, right? And then always in the middle of the night, 12 a.m., I get a notice, you've been attacked 365 times just this single hour. Like, okay. So we're planning to actually move away from the main OpenClaw, but we're using all of the OpenClaw and making our own flavors just to make sure it stays safe, and then at the same time, we are also making sure that it stays on their environment that we have full control on, especially this is multiplayer AI. And I think, it's just me, OpenClaw wasn't built, maybe I'm wrong, you can just tell me I'm wrong, but I think OpenClaw started from really building it for just one person, not yet as multiplayer as it is, so that's why we're building on top of it to become more multiplayer. So yeah, I hope you got some ideas on what to do on your team, but it's been really fun and really productive so far. Thank you so much, folks, and last but not the least, we are already around, 254 members on the Facebook group. So if you want to join, just go there. We'll be asking the speakers to also post their share there for those who was not able to come today. So join us, and we're asking for anyone who wants to volunteer to moderate, admins, do some meetups on their own in different chapters whatsoever. Feel free to tag us, guys. We really just want this to be all out there and all of us sharing together. Thank you so much.
All right, the question is, you set up OpenClaw, how much does it cost to set up OpenClaw, ongoing, any initial fees and everything?
Jerry! Sige, share. I'm not sure if I'm proud, but supposedly we have like around $20,000 in budget. That's really from Club Manila tokens whatsoever. But right now it's running to be already around 40K, 30K-ish running. But per day. Oh, sorry, dollars. Per month. Not per day. Not yet at least. But here's the thing, right? We're also looking at it in the perspective of what we're building and able to ship on a day-to-day basis. So now the pressure is on the marketing and the sales team. But yeah, so right now we're not yet, I will want to learn from everyone from like how you're optimizing your things, but right now we're not yet on the part where we're focusing on the optimization part. Really just on focusing on how do we make as productive as possible with all frontiers and available stuff out there. Yeah.
Earlier I talked about how I've been using Kimi K. The only thing is when you're using the Chinese models, you just have to know that they're stealing your stuff, like whatever you say. It's just true. They try to steal your stuff. They try to steal your islands. I'm just saying, the polygons and everything. But anyway, if you go to that QR code, if my sticker girl went around too, I actually made a skill called the OpenClaw Cost Optimizer. I would definitely say. So first and foremost, I've been where you are. I mean, I just have like 2 developers on my team, and I gave them both different APIs. They're using Anthropic, of course. And the first day, the guy's like $106 in API usage, and I'm like, wait, what's? And then like next thing you know, I have like $1,000 on day 2. And because now they know how to use it more, so they're using it. And again, like what you said, where you're looking at, well, how much money is this making, right? Like if you're actually doing go-to-market and you have really good things that you're building. But the problem is that my team was building stuff that we're giving away for free, the skills, right? So Kimi K is a great model that you could use and abuse the hell out of it. They give you 5 API keys for $40 a month. It's really powerful. Now the other thing that might help you guys too is, Claude Opus 4.6 is obviously a very strong and capable model, but most of the code can be done by Sonnet 4.5 or 4.6, which is like half the cost. And then some of these models are getting really good. And again, Kitty K's just stealing from Anthropic anyway. There was a post that there were 24,000 Kitty K. They had 24,000 fraudulent Anthropic accounts that they were using. So every time you were talking to Kitty K, it was actually sending your prompt to Anthropic. And then they were getting the answers back from Anthropic, using your data to build their model, and then giving you the answer. So, anyways.
I guess for some people who are really not good at technicalities, or some people that are having a hard time in deploying OpenClaw, there are also some instances, especially for KVK, there is a feature already in the platform itself where you can just get a subscription if you get the Allegrato subscription from KVK by getting like $40 per month. You can actually set that up and also have KimiClaw. So KimiClaw is basically an OpenClaw instance built inside KVK, etc. Yes, it's cloud platform. I think it's like 4 gigs of RAM for 40 to 80 gigs of storage, so that you can, for people who are still starting off from OpenClaw or people who are still just trying to test it out, look into it. It's easy to set it up. It's just a one-click instance, and also you can connect your instance from the cloud also to it. So if you already have an OpenClaw instance from your local or to the VPS, you can connect it via gateway as well. And for other things besides KVK, there are already some startups that are doing something similar to OpenClaw right now, or using, because of the idea about the founder did of giving a claw space, a claw hub by the way, I'm sorry. So a lot of startups are really implementing their own OpenClaw type of feature. If you know about out there, it's basically an AI that lives in your notch, and they're also implementing stuff like that. And also Skywork AI is really good at automating slides. They have an 24/7 Skywork chatbot already also that is similar to OpenClaw. So yeah, there's a lot of instances that you can do, and also a lot of similar things that are like imitate. Yeah.
Hello, my name is Ken. I'm a dev internet simp. And my question is, I think I speak for most, if not a lot of the people here who haven't really started experimenting with OpenClaw, when I say that what's making us hesitate is the fear that it'll burn a hole in our bank accounts because of API costs. So my question is, for us beginners who want to start experimenting with the tool, what are some cost-effective setups that we can utilize, I guess?
Yeah, so I would say the cheapest possible setup is, I would say most people pay for a ChatGPT subscription already. You can actually use the OAuth method with Codex in OpenClaw. So OpenClaw will walk you through Anthropic, but you can actually just set one model down and then just use Codex, and it'll actually give you a link. You click on the link, and then log into ChatGPT, and then you paste that auth code back in, and then it auths as if it was Codex. So it's running Codex in ChatGPT, or sorry, in OpenClaw. This is our setup, what Mika and I use for our OpenClaw in our Slack. We have like 5 agents. We just talk to it constantly. OpenClaw will say that it's burned like $30 in tokens, but actually there's no API key, we don't have credits, so it's not charging anything. So it's actually, if you already have a ChatGPT subscription, which most people do, just the $20 a month one, you can just start using that, and that's all we use.
So Open Routers, like they give out like free models you can use, but it's on rotation. So, but some models are not supported out of the box in Open Router. But if they're compatible with Anthropic or OpenAI APIs, you can create a custom provider. So you just have to do some like legwork to make it work, but you can use free friends through Open Router.
Okay. Jeff. And then let's go to another question.
Yeah,
afterwards.
for Open Router, the thing about Open Router, which I really like, is that you can, inside your API key, you can just set a daily limit. So you could say like, $3, $10, whatever you want to spend a day, which is really, really key. And another thing that I really like about Open Router is that there's free models in there. You can use it for free, But again, you guys have a special plan that we don't have in America. That's only 300 pesos. I don't know if that plan works on it. It probably doesn't. So you need to pay the $20 or whatever it is. OpenAI. Yeah, the light. I don't think the light version does so well. But still, like $20 a month is pretty good. It's cheaper than KVK.
I guess like there's a little bit. It's like yeah, if you're just starting off with OpenClaw, I feel like advice I would give is just use like what he said about KVK. Is just use the platform itself. It's already integrated with OpenClaw called KVK. And there's also lean models like ZeroClaw and stuff like that also. Yeah.
Hi there, really nice talks. I have my OpenClaw and I've configured it with Claude Code. It's the best way for me to work with it. And I think a constant theme is the security issues. And I think a few you guys mentioned it, but maybe didn't go into the detail about that. And I think if you're first working with it, you probably need to be aware of that. Like for example, you can configure your WhatsApp and you can make it to the world where anyone could talk to your bot. How would you, let's say your credentials are on your server, your VPS, how do you think about managing the security there, and what are some of the biggest things that you would recommend people consider in terms of security for that example?
I would just say the 3 guidelines. So first one, no open ports. The way you talk to it or access the admin anything is with Tailscale. That's the easiest one, just Tailscale. The second thing is there's guidelines for every channel, and the thing to look for is the approval or pairing. So Telegram and Slack, they have all these modes. It's like approval or allow from. That's the basic one. Or basically an easier thing to remember is never use open. The word open is bad inside the channels. Yeah, and then close call. And the third thing I think is just try to use channels where you have to add the bot. That way you don't get prompt ejected. That's the scariest one. You want to make sure that it's not in a place that it doesn't get to the chance to do that. So our OpenClaw right now is just in Telegrams and Slacks that Mika and I use, and that's it for now. So, but then in that way, it's sort of sandbox in our own world. So, step 1, Tailscale. Step 2, allow, and then step 3, limit the access. Just use bot. So yeah.
So you can update your agent's MD and then sort of like force it to one, like just all these secrets, only me should have access to it, and everyone else should have, like limited access to certain files and context. So it's sort of like a rough guardrail, so to speak, that's prompted. But the alternative is like, I'm not sure if you've done DM scopes. So there's a flag in OpenClaw JSON where you could specify the scope of DMs, like channels that you've configured it. And you could set it to like per channel scope or per account per channel, so that the threads are not polluted, or like there's no crosstalk between different accounts talking to your agent. So look into DM scopes.
I know I kind of spoke to you about this earlier, but if you look at what every other legitimate AI platform is doing for security, they're having an input and output filter. So they're looking for any type of prompt injection, any type of malicious language that's coming into the bot. So it's preventing it to get to the bot. And then the large language model is, of course, taking whatever those commands are and it's doing whatever it's doing. And then after it's done, before the output is sent to the user, it's then going through yet another security to see if there's any malicious code or any type of prompt injection that's happened on that. That's obviously not a feature of OpenClaw. It could be built in. You could probably just transcribe what I just said and go to Claude Code and say, I want to build this, right? And I'm very capable. So I would say input, output filters.
Yeah, I think I'll add just one more thing that hasn't been probably discussed, but be careful with skills, especially if it's external skills. One way that I do to be very careful with skills right now, I hit myself, so I'm also learning. So that's one of the things that I do is, instead of actually asking Cloud to just install it, what I do is that I have my agent go to that skill page and learn from it, and then let's implement it ourselves. Because the ClawHub one, they already put out all of their files. And I tend to just be very careful and just install it. The reason that I do that is because even if it's safe now, virus total is okay, benign, whatsoever, they can technically just update it, and then you get another supply chain attack, right? So, whereas if you copy that same thing, yes, you don't probably get the update unless you manually tell it to do so, but at least you're safe. Right? So that's one way that I usually do it myself.
Yeah, okay, great.
Cool. Any more questions? All right. Amazing. Let's give a round of applause. And at the end as well, we're gonna send their names, links to connect with them, their decks. So check your WhatsApp because I'm asking for your links. So you can follow up with them and ask them questions.
Okay, all right. I think that's the end of our program tonight. We just want to be able to thank the organizers, we thank Asi, we thank the volunteers, John, Ricky, Mika, Glenn, and everybody. Thank you for organizing. Yeah.
For photo.